good morning, good morning, good morning. And it is a good morning, it is a great morning. It is finally sunny again, and I am tired from yesterday, so I did sleep in. Which brings us to the most important question, which is, of course, the name of the stream here. You guys keep voting for the band option. So does that mean that you want me to just sleep in every morning? Regardless, today I am just going to be vibing out with some Gaia runs here, and then not a ton. This isn't going to be the month-end grind yet. I figure we're just going to get ahead, right? So if we come over here to our dragon points and take a nice little look, we're not doing too bad. We're almost at the first ruby coin, so I figure I'll kind of keep up just a slight grind every day. And then the other thing I wanted to do was head on over to we'll just run some dungeons on my Ravager as usual, just vibing out on the easy ones. Now there was something in the patch notes about hell dungeons having bonus drops, which I haven't tested yet because it's been busy. Well, not yesterday. Yesterday was chill, but I didn't spend that much time gaming yesterday. Oh. So I had fun learning how to, well, not learning how to, but basically putting together everything I've been researching on how to do my taxes into the final submission yesterday, so I'm now compliant with the law for reporting taxes as a YouTuber. That's very exciting. And then immediately afterwards, I went to a cafe and just enjoyed some coffee. But I forgot it's spring break, so the cafe wasn't even that quiet, even though it was the middle of the day on a work day. And if I seem like I'm more tired than normal, then that's because two things. First off, last night the Blue Protocol raid took a lot longer than anticipated, so that was good. I mean, was it good? I realized I probably need to freshen up my gear a bit before next week, but then the new level of gear is gonna come out, so it's like, is it worth bothering to, or should I just not? I don't know. Let's probably put that on that spot. Like, if I refresh my gear now, it's just gonna be outdated in what, a week? So anyway, there's that. And then, of course, the other thing is, because I did so much walking yesterday, like, again, I wasn't at my computer all day, I did a lot of walking, I am just, like, ridiculously sore. So I made one coffee this morning and my arms were like, nah, we're not doing that again. No more grinding beans today. Or at least, not for another hour or so, like, get some more rest in here. I definitely think it is worth it to grind fresh beans every time I want coffee, because if I didn't, I'd definitely overdo it, but today my arms said no more, so I've just got a nice pot of tea here. Actually, I could probably pour the first cup now. Well, I guess the other thing that was in the patch notes was those world bosses for the Eidolons. And I did kill them with a friend the other day, but I want to double check to see kind of how strong they are, because we absolutely nuked them after their armor-piercing shield went down, so I'm curious as to whether or not I can get them in one cycle myself. But I'll probably bring my best character for that. And right now, Noon's got the most of my gear. Wizard is really nice to play. Now, last time I did not make a patch video for the patch that came out. It was mostly it was 100% recycled events. So I decided against it. But this time we've actually got some stuff going on. Not in terms of like new content, unfortunately, but the events that are on are a little bit different. I don't know if we've had bonus drops the way that they've got it laid out in the patch. Hey Saris, yeah, that's on me. So last night it was after the I had just finished a Blue Protocol raid that ended up taking like 2 hours. Yeah, it was a little over 2 hours, and it was like 11 at night. And when I was setting it up, I forgot that they use AM PM on the list for the start times, and yeah, I'm more used to 24-hour time, so I spotted 8:30, and I just was like, all right, let's go. But yeah, that was on me. And then this morning, because the band option was winning, I decided to sleep in. So I delayed it by an extra half an hour. Although you could call that technically 11.5 hours early, so maybe we'll go with that instead of delayed by half an hour. But yeah, no, I still could not bring myself to make another coffee because my arms are just too sore from all the out and about yesterday. You know, I do like the Blue Protocol raids, but I feel like that's what I like the most about that game right now is the goofing around with pals. Whereas I find Aura Kingdom just inherently fun to play. For me, Blue Protocol is definitely more fun just with a group of people. There we go. Sometimes I feel like I could make the vertical speed on the mouse even slower, but it's just the screen is so big when I'm using a controller. Alright, probably good to just eat the LP. Her inventory is fine, even if I keep the fragments for a bit. I realized it's been forever for some of my characters since I've actually cleared out their inventory of fragments, so some of them are getting like a pretty solid amount of fragments going on. Oh shoot, I forgot to use my Azurian. Oh well. Done. Yeah, so I'll do like 3 Gaia runs. That's kind of what I've been sticking to, 3 or 4 per day, just so that I'm not... Oh, I should have brought Hachito Hime with us. I put her on the thumbnail, so I thought I better use her. So actually, I put out the Eidolon combo skills video the other day, and I did have the 2 different thumbnails up. Which one was the one was Yagami Hime, and the other was just an actual clip from one of the combo skills. And I'm surprised because I liked the blue one better too, the one that was a screenshot from game, but I thought that because the Yagami Hime one was a little bit more polished that it would be the one that performed better. But fortunately, the one that I like best one too, so I reused it today. Oh right, yeah, I did the take a little detour and do my Holy Abyss here. I've been thinking about getting a Holy S35 weapon for my do list. So I've kinda sort of been thinking about going in here again. So as you can see, I've got all my buffs up and everything. Oh, you even got candy on right now. I mean, it's not what I intended to do, and I bet you my frame rate will absolutely tank. But yeah, I'm only at a little over 300 of the flowers here. So I'm still quite a ways away from getting anywhere, but... Also, if I'm not pulling out all the stops, she's not making it through to the very end. But I started a new strategy, so let's see. Not gonna be able to do this with the controller though, so back on the keys. Alright, so these first guys, basically, if they reset once, we're toast. Wow. See, what are you supposed to do? Right? Like... there's way too much going on here. So, kind of just gotta... Well, I used the... Hello, Ricardo! I used a single instance of the decoy yesterday when I tried this, but then the problem became that they would knock the decoy rat into reset range, and then all of them reset. So you really gotta watch out for using decoy on them. So what I've been trying to focus on is keeping them in one spot with the ultraviolet catastrophe. And that gives you a little better dodging. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot smoother than yesterday. Now I need to recover Percival's health. No, that didn't make it. There. I should probably have pulled out my holy pet as well, and my holy elixir is going to run out before this run is finished. I know I've got more of those. Yes. Yeah, as soon as I get... the boss will knock her out if she's got low life, but once I've got her healed up, my Eidolon usually does last. And that's kind of my key to staying alive, because I'm really relying on the true chivalry to stay alive. Although, I think precision bombardment... I'm not entirely positive that's helping all that much. Oh, that's right. I don't have any of my temporary manuals on anymore either, so I'm doing this without the manual. Actually, I should probably just grab one from my bank. I know I've got a bunch in there. I do have background music playing. It's just very quiet right now. Hold on a second here. Just not a great time to be messing around with my music. Okay, there we go. Is it other? Yes, warehouse card. I should probably use a charm on this. Warehouse card. Get me... Oh, where's a manual bag? I'll use one of these, why not? Oh, I should have grabbed one of the other things too. There. Just a sec here. I'll check out the song later. I should really focus on this chest, otherwise we're going to lose too much time here. I'll check out the song later for sure. Well, unfortunately, I can't open up my notepad in this particular dungeon. Oh, I think we lost too much time on that chest. It's alright, these ones aren't... Oh, okay, yeah. That was the 5-minute mark, I think. Yeah. Now these guys, no risk charming one of them, except that if it's charmed when the others are already dead. Yeah, maybe charming wasn't the right call for this wave either. I'm not at the point that I need the charm to stay alive anymore, so that's good. How long is the buff from the trap? 8 seconds. Casting frost trap, yeah. I don't think jump casting is really mandatory for DPS here because the auto attacks are probably just hitting for 1 damage each. Since I don't have much physical bonus, maybe I'll just focus on not losing any of my active buffs. Oh, I didn't even use my mental focus. I'm not entirely sure how much the manual helps there. Hello, Samuel! You know what? I think it is a good day. I think today is going to be a good day. I don't know if I'm going to beat this dungeon, but it's sunny. I finished my taxes. I'm just so happy that I got it done. And if I get audited next year because I made a mistake, then it is what it is. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to help you, but I can try. Alright, these guys have a knockback as well. Yeah, knockback. The banned option is dyeable glasses. Samuel, which version of the game did you download? Like, where did you get it from? Because there are kind of multiple versions of the game, and that's gonna affect anything that I was gonna say. I think this song is significantly louder. I might need to turn down the volume a bit again. Seconds. Yes, this is the global version, but if you got the version off of Steam, it's a different version. I'm playing the official global version that's run by X-Legend. I think the games look close enough to each other that there wouldn't be any individual single thing that I could point to and say, this is, if this is there. Oh, I guess it's got more icons in your upper corner here for all the shop stuff. And if you go in the LP store and see Oath Rings, you're on the Impact version. You know what? You may be able to get that last boss to spawn before the timer runs out. You may not be toast here. I thought I spent too much time on that first chest, but maybe I really have gotten enough new archives since the last time. Oh, 12 minutes. We have 3 minutes to beat those mobs. I should use a charm on that. Now last night when I was doing this, I decoyed one of these guys to take the pressure off because it gets so laggy on this wave. And I think that was my mistake because I had one mob left that I hadn't killed by the end of the timer. But we're doing better this time, so I think it should be okay. As long as I can keep them kind of frozen there with Ultraviolet Catastrophe between the lag. Yeah, this is gonna work. I mean, I wasn't using the manual yesterday either, so... Very nice. Oh, I still have this one guy that's a little stronger than the others. And I completely was not keeping up my ballad stacks. Done. Right. Now from here, it's easy. We just gotta not die. As long as I keep everything stacked and Michaela is... Or that's not Michaela, sorry, that's Crucible and she just died. I was gonna say, as long as she doesn't die, we're good. There. Oh, she's actually doing a lot more damage to my Eidolon in this version. Ming! Glad to see you. Even though I put the wrong time on the start of the stream originally. Yeah, if I actually was close enough. Yeah, I started about half an hour ago-ish. I ran some Gaia, and then I was gonna run some more Gaia on noon here, but she was standing outside the Holy Abyss, so I figured I should be able to beat it. And look at that. I know we ran out of time technically, but the last boss spawned, so we just get to finish fighting. It should still give us the chest after. Yeah, it does. Where is my charm? And if we're lucky, we'll be up to another 100 stack. Oh, so close. Crumpled mouse pad. Now, I don't know necessarily how you'd be able to fix that. If it's like one of the rubberized ones, crumpled is usually has more to do with like the integrity of the rubber being compromised. Hello, Atreides, and thank you! Should I do the easy one just for a nice cakewalk? Nah. All that would do is fill my inventory with more stuff I can't hold. So, I'm at 396 flowers. I don't even know what item we need for the holy swords either. 34, quality, rare. Duelist. Demeter, Michaela. Huh. Is that a mistake? I wouldn't call that easy. I was on the, I was kind of on the edge there. In fact, those knockback guys, they absolutely destroy me when I'm not being careful. I am definitely not endgame level here. This doesn't seem right. Brightness Fruit of Sin. 105 gold chalcedony? No way. Yeah, no, they bite. Yeah, something... This doesn't look right. I'm gonna look it up in the database real quick. One sec. Kayla. Holy glow. One word, holy glow. This is the Holy Abyss, or Abyss of Light. In the original version, you fight Nalini. And in the upgraded version, you fight Michaela. But Michaela actually drops both Michaela and Nalini frags, so now I've got a ton of Nalini frags as well. As you can see, I got like 22 from one run. Okay, yeah, no, that in the database there, that's a mistake. It is actually still 10 of them. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, more importantly, I do need dragon points. Yes, those are the new weapon dungeons. So there's 3 versions. There's the yeah, they started coming out in the last year, so they finished releasing them now. So there is one for every element, but there's 3 versions. There's level 95, level 115, and 135 for the weapons. Yeah. Yeah, her name is Michaela in the English version, if we go down to Holy. Yep, it's this lady. Isn't it? Am I zoning out and completely had the wrong Eidolon? No, it's totally Michaela. I'm so tired, I wouldn't be surprised if I accidentally said the wrong Eidolon name so confidently. I think the level 95 version isn't very hard, but all you get from, it's Michaela, like, I thought that was like a biblical angel name or something. But with a CH, not a Q. It depends. So I specifically would like to get one of the S35 holy weapons for my duelist. So the level 95 ones are a bit of a tough sell, because if there's one that matches your element and you can get through it, it's not too bad. So I have an alt account that I play, which has a no archive. Like I call it a fresh account, but it is about 2 years old now. I don't play it a ton, so it still doesn't have a ton of stuff. That account can easily solo the second ones. Like, you don't need a ridiculous archive to do the S15 ones. So if you're trying to beat Awakening, the Awakening challenge at level 100, and the element of your class matches one of the elements for the weapons that you can get from under Awakening, it's actually not a bad choice, the level 95. It's just that that weapon is probably going to be outdated, and the element has to match your class. So let's see, the ones that are above Awakening are Storm and Lightning. So if you're a Storm or Lightning class, you're just kind of SOL there. But if you're like a Flame class and playing Ravager, like if you're playing Ravager and you want to try and beat Awakening, not a bad choice to do the level 95 one. Not bad choice at all, I'd say. But at S15, it's actually a pretty competitive weapon for some of the classes. So on my scrub account, which is what I call my second account there, I got the S15 Ravager weapon, and I do like it quite a bit. But yeah, no, it was a relatively easy grind for the S15. Basically, if you've got S15 gear and S10ish gear and 0 archive, you'd definitely be able to do the S15. It doesn't require a ridiculous amount of archive, the same way that the top version does. Oh gosh, I probably should have shown you while I was inside. Your damage is 0 inside those dungeons. You don't have any damage. Hello Matthias, and yes, I am playing the official one. And Tragus, yeah, so the problem with Bo is that they took away all of our AoE. They took it all away. So Bo went from being a super fun AoE class with the field of effect thing going on to a huge amount of debuffs. Like, there's so many debuffs. I was main Bo and I still have not learned all of the debuffs, so very sad. Simo, I don't know. Personally, when I roll Paragon, I look for an Eidolon, and if I need them, I roll it. That's basically it right now. But, if you watched that video I put out recently of all the Eidolon combination skills, the person that assisted me with all the super late game Eidolons was actually an ex-legend person. I asked if they would be willing to record some shots for me, and they were like super happy to help. direct controller here. I was like, hey, I'd really appreciate it if somebody could help me get some footage of these Eidolons, and then they were like, you know, we're gonna be busy for a bit here, but in March we'll be able to help. But also, how about you pick all of the costumes and all of the maps? And I'm like, oh my gosh, so I just made them dress up in costumes that I like that I don't have. I had a lot of fun with that. Yes, Ming, this is my, I think this is my best gear set, to be honest. I've, is this my, yeah, it's my bestial blue armor. But as you can see, I don't have any of, like, the ultra Paragon accessories. You know what? I think there are some things that are changed in regards to the ethos for specific items. But I got way less costumes and Eidolon fragments in the area days on Paragon, just gonna say. I think there's a shift in what they consider to be more valuable. And yes, I didn't really bother 5-starring my armor. As you can see, I got started and then I got bored. I should probably 5-star this at least. Oh no, that's a 125. I should get a 135 weapon. Ugh. Gotta do the Storm Abyss. I don't like the Storm Abyss either. And the reason for that is because it barely drops anything. There's so few mobs. The Fire Abyss was the best because it had so many mobs that did drops. And also because it technically didn't even really have a timer. I mean, 5-starring armor is just HP. My HP is fine. Fine enough. Yeah, and I never bothered to upgrade this one because it's not like my harp damage matters all that much. You could say that for healing it matters, but the dungeons where I actually need to use healing skills are 0 damage dungeons anyway, so you're not going to have any. Actually, you know what? Since you're asking about 0 damage, I should probably actually show that. Hold on one second. There's a nightmare out. Maybe it's a 0 damage nightmare. Which nightmare is it? Those are the world bosses. Actually, we could probably check out a world boss too. Link reduction, scratch card. Oh, Silent Hill. Thank you! Thank you, Achikun. Here I am opening up the patch notes, and I still can't see it. Oh, Drowsy Cave. That's right. Yeah, I figured. I wouldn't be able to beat a party nightmare with 0 damage. I'm not at that level yet. Nightmare, Bloodthirsty Castle? Solo I should be able to do, but party, if it's 0 damage, probably not. Alright, check it out. So your stats are massively debuffed. You've got 0 damage, which means all of your effective damage has to come from your bonuses. Oh wow, my inventory is kind of a mess. Kind of a mess. My inventory is a real mess. So as you can see, my life is about halved. Hello, Mitsu! Oh, yeah, sorry, that's from running Gaia. Anyway, as you can see, facing mobs, kinda suffering, because the only bonuses that work versus mobs are damage versus elemental target, and kind of your generic detail damage. Actually, this isn't going too bad. No, Eidolon Wishes are specifically the flat stats. That's not going to help. I'm specifically referring to in archive, yes, but like specifically referring to like your damage versus bosses and damage versus elemental targets. So, hold on a second here. Am I gonna die? Yes. Do I have feathers? Yes. So, plus if you stand on one of these feathers, they'll kill the bats. They kill you as well. So that. Yeah. But the real intention here is that you come in with a party, everybody uses their debuffs properly, and you stack the bosses with a proper amount of debuffs, and then everybody's doing damage to them because you've got even just regular gear bonuses. You bring a party, you debuff the bosses, and you fight together. But, there is so much archive that it is theoretically possible to do it alone as long as you've got enough of those bonuses. Now, as for me, I do not. And I'm gonna wait for the respawn because in this dungeon, touching those circles of those bats will kill you, and I don't really want to have to deal with the troopers again. And I really don't think I'm gonna be able to beat the boss anyway. But theoretically, I could do more damage to the boss because I've got more boss stats. Oh no, he came after me. Yeah, so in this version of the game, there is like Paragon gear. Like there is some gear on the Paragon, but there's not so much that you're like completely unable to play without it. Because like, I mean, sure, I can't solo this Nightmare Party dungeon that's intended for a party. I can only do up to level 7 in the Vault of Eternity, but it's not like I can't play the majority of the game. In Impact, it kind of felt like I just could not play. Wait, am I actually going to be able to do this? Because this crystal always only took 1 damage, so theoretically, the fact that it's Nightmare Party mode is irrelevant. I just need to get a bunch of hits in. And then once Riki is... Oh, I have my damage off here. Hold on a second. Battle. Oh... I am not doing much damage to this guy at all. Yeah, no, you're right. For the first phase, I knew that the crystal wasn't going to be a problem, but yeah, no, this guy, he needs some serious debuffs or some serious power from a single individual. As you can see, you can kind of watch a couple pixels on his life fluctuate, but yeah, this is not a dungeon that I am equipped to handle alone. Now that being said, I'm pretty sure I could do solo. Are you playing on the Mitsu? Are you playing on the English server or the Chinese server? Oh, and also in this dungeon, these drop nothing. They don't even give experience or gold, so there's really no purpose to fighting them unless you want to. Oh, I thought that the Chinese one was doing pretty good still. That's, I guess it really is just a bit much in terms of the, Global is the one that, it is, they're both run by X Legend, so, in terms of official servers, right now you've got the Japanese, which is completely separate from X Legend at this point, I believe. And then you've got Impact, which is their re-release from last summer. And then the original Taiwan server, of course. And then the global server, which is the old area servers. And yeah, those one-shot you regardless of what mode you're in. even knew it one-shot you, and I still did it again. So, X-Legend merged together the 4 old area servers into one server. If your item ball looks like mine... Oh, no, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead again. If your item ball looks like mine, then you're on the same one as me. That I think it's the easiest way to tell them apart. Instant fail. Oh dear, I don't even want to know. Alright, get that crystal out of here. In the early game, dungeons are kind of, irrelevant now. So specifically, which dungeon is it that you're struggling with? I think you said you were around, like, level 100-ish, right? These guys have suns, so they're annoying. I want to kill them even though I don't need to. Subterranean. Okay, so the last set of mobs is probably the one you're struggling with, I'm gonna guess. Those big mushroom guys? Well, they're not, they don't look like mushrooms. I think they're called like mushroom giants or something though. Is that the ones that are giving you a tough time? Yeah, so as you can tell by the fact that I knew exactly what you were talking about, those guys suck. So they're just significantly stronger than the other mobs. Like, they hit really, really hard. So even if up until that point you're able to just, like, face tank all of the mobs... I don't know if it's necessarily pen, especially if you're still doing damage and it's just that they're hitting you. Oh, yeah, no, if you're right, if you are using the advanced Gaia weapon, that might be a factor. I suppose that's why you were asking about the 95 weapon. Simo, let's see. Oh boy. I take it kinda easy with regards to leveling up characters to S40. I mean, there's not really any benefit to getting to S40. Now, the other alternative, oh, sorry, I should probably finish what I was saying. So for me, when I do Dimensional Haul on all of my characters every day, so that's anywhere from like 5 to 2% per character, and it just slowly ticks up. And then once they're starting to get close to level S140, I'll start doing like maybe 10% a day, doing like just daily quests. So I take it pretty chill until I get to like 40% left, at which case I usually start a stream and just don't stop until I'm cap level. But yeah, no, I take it kind of chill. And again, I don't know why I'm killing all these things. There's no benefit to it, but oh well. Now, with regards to your weapon, even if you can't get a destroyer core in the newbie packs, you might have gotten some Sky Tower emblems that you could use to get one of the Sky Tower weapons. It's probably better to save your Sky Tower emblems for the Agni accessory set. But if you really can't beat Awakening, it's also an alternative. The only problem is that you basically got one shot at getting the right element. Oh no, did you, I think, if you started your account a while back, there's another cube you get in the mail at level 30 now, so, I'm pretty sure that also has some in it. Not the Envoy Support Cube, because if it's not a fresh account yet, you probably don't have that. But the Uber Goodie Bag, I don't know, do I have any in my inventory still? You get on every character at level 30, even if it's not. As you can see, yes, I've got a bunch of them. I can't preview it here, but basically there's this item called the Uber Goodie Bag you get in the mail on every character. Like every single character you play, regardless of whether or not it's, you've already beaten that class or that, or you've passed level 30 before, everybody gets it. And I'm pretty sure it's got a couple Sky Tower sigils in it. I don't think 25, though. Oh, shucks. It's just the anima hues. Oh. I guess I had some left from last time. So, right-click your name, item search, and make sure your capitalization is right, but put in Sky Tower, and hit display. It'll show you any character that's got Sky Tower sigils, so even if you got them hidden on another character, you can find them like that. Oh, I forgot it was behind the chat. Where'd LP? Yeah, okay, then that does mean that it's, that's the only spot you've got some. But hey, at least now you know for sure if you've got extra characters. Sometimes it's like... That's what people did the last time they had a PvP channel. Nobody went... Oh shoot, I forgot to summon my contract. I'm not used to having a contract that's actually good and worth summoning. Whoops. It's fine. You know, I'll keep it on her, and I'll send her back to the Abyss of Light. That way the next time I log on to her, I'll be like, oh yeah, I should run the Abyss of Light, because that's my thing, is I just forget to do it. So yeah, take those big guys one at a time. And also, specifically Tree Cave, if you're already at the point that you can enter Tree Cave, it is legitimately just an easier dungeon. It is actually just easier, so... Hey, now I am not at the level for PvP that you seem to be thinking I am. I am absolutely not. You know, it's actually been quite a while since I've seen that gold glow that used to be around the safe zones for PvP maps. I wonder if that's actually just gone now. Yeah, she can keep the Eidolon. Oh shoot, I was gonna check out the world bosses and see if I could actually beat them alone, and that probably needs to be done on Noon because she's got the gear right now. Oh well. Here I am thinking, oh, I'll just run a couple little Gaia runs and then I'll do some dungeons on my Ravager, and it's like an hour in and I still have not even got to my Ravager. Oh, that's right. She's got a Connection Master sprite. And I just accidentally went into Navia. I should probably spend some time on midday here, otherwise I'm not going to be able to use my Connection Master sprite properly. Hello, Reiju. I'm gonna say that AK Global is more free-to-play friendly than Aura Kingdom Impact is, but the flip side is that it'll take you quite a while to get to end game. Actually, I don't know how the grind is in Impact, but it'll take you quite, like, you'll be able to progress free-to-play friendly probably till somewhere around level 100 without too much grind. The grind will really start at level 95, so there's plenty of game there for you to enjoy with all of the new player benefits without having to worry about spending any money. But at some point you're going to hit a wall where the answer is you can either grind, and if you enjoy the gameplay you're going to love it, or if you don't, it'll be a wall and you'll feel like your only answer is to spend money. And I think that goes for a lot of games, but you know, make sure that if you try it out, you're definitely not going to feel pressured immediately to spend any money or anything. Aside from that one stupid quest that sends you to the item mall, which you can ignore. I don't know why they still have that in there, but yeah, you're not going to feel any massive friction until probably somewhere closer to level 95-ish, where you might need to start actually running dungeons to grind. So if you're not a fan of grinding, there's plenty of game prior to that. You know, when it comes to conversations about whether or not a game is free-to-play friendly or not, as someone who very rarely has a lot of money to spend on games, it's like you have to intrinsically enjoy the gameplay, right? So if you're, like, unfortunately, Atragus is in a bit of a bad situation here where the gameplay is fun, but the gear is a little bit lacking. So, yeah. Actually, what element are you playing, Atragus? Like, honestly, right now... Ah, Ravager, yes. Excellent choice. Right now, I enjoy Aura Kingdom free-to-play completely because I think over the entire time I've played this game, which is going to be over 10 years now, probably spent less than $200 total. In fact, I'd be surprised if it was more than 150 Canadian. But I just inherently enjoy playing, so despite the fact that recently I'm not making a ton of progress, I'm just, like, in terms of, like, gear and stuff, I'm just vibing out and having fun. For me, it feels free-to-play friendly because I'm at a position where after 10 years I don't really need to do a whole lot to be able to, like, I don't need to invest anything to have any more fun. Whereas something like Genshin Impact, I get frustrated because I'd really like more characters. Because that's what I find fun about it, is trying out new characters and new teams. And then you got something like Arknight's Enfield, which not a single penny, and I am loving the heck out of that because what I find fun about it is factory. I just love the factory. It's factory time. It's always factory o'clock. Literally at work, quiet, and I'm sketching out ice factory ideas on my my tablet. All day I dream about factory. I don't care about fighting, I just want factory. That's not true. I do find that the combat in Arknight's fun too, though. Master's Emblem other than Exo giving them or selling them with real money? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by a Master's Emblem, to be honest. Simo? Is that an item I've just forgotten exists? Oh, the connection emblem. Sorry, that's what you mean. So, I mean, look, I've been playing this game for 10 years. I'm just enjoying it. Master's Emblem, they probably meant the Connection Master's Emblem. But they give them out free relatively frequently. And then occasionally they'll run an event with world bosses where the top kills... Yeah, sorry, you're right. I forgot they're technically called Master Emblems because I call them Link Emblems because Master Emblem is a silly name. Sorry. Occasionally they run an event where there's world bosses and the top 3 players who damage the world boss, like the top 3 contributors to the kill, will get a Connection Master Emblem. Are they even selling them inside the item mall right now? Because they don't always have them for sale. Doesn't... Well, you could say that, but they do give them out for free with relative frequency. Like, I've got more to use. But, yeah, no, they don't have them for sale this week for actual money. So, again, I only get them when they give them out for free or when that event is up. Sometimes you just secretly go with a friend and make sure there's less than 3 of you, and then the weakest person still gets one. Which is how I got a couple. Tee. But yeah, I've actually got a couple left, but because they can't be stored in the shared, like some of the ones I've got can't be stored in the shared warehouse, I gotta be careful about making sure I don't open them up. Legion hit the jackpot. Honestly, the way that those bosses work, you're a little bit early for it, but there's a stat called goodness, it's blood armor, which requires a stat called armor piercing to get through it. And of course this game is convoluted like that. But anyway, so this character's only got 85 armor piercing. And these bosses have ridiculously high armor shields. So even if you're a little bit weaker, if you're bringing some armor piercing to the party, you're helping. I have an old video about how armor piercing works, which is extremely outdated now, because obviously we have a lot more things that require armor piercing. But basically the way armor piercing works is that the shield has a set number of points, and you can only deal your armor piercing to it per, I believe it's second. So it doesn't matter how much you're hitting him, you're only applying that much armor break per second. And her inventory is kind of messy, but I'm gonna go run the Infernal Abyss because I want to show you a little bit of a trick that means that technically the Infernal Abyss does not have a timer. Whereas some of the other ones, yeah, not all of them have like strict timers, but the Infernal Abyss straight up does not have a timer because you can refresh it. So I'll show you what I mean. That way you can use that as a hint if you're still struggling a bit with it. So the Infernal Abyss is over on Ventos. And I'll just do the middle one. Yes, this is the weapon dungeon I was talking about. So you're gonna come over here to the Ventos Prairie Infernal Abyss, and you're gonna go for Infernal Abyss 2 solo. You should see all three. Like, it'll actually let you enter this dungeon at level 95, but stick with this one. It's the only one that will drop the items you need anyway. Now, in the other original version of the Infernal Abyss, when you talk to the cube and get your trial status, you're going to run through, and every time you beat a boss, you technically change zone. But you're going to see something real silly here. You do just quickly take these guys out. You don't technically change zone. So if you watch carefully, I'm going to throw down my AoE hex shot on it, and it's going to leave a field. And after it kills the boss, I'm going to run through the portal. And you should see another boss die. There, you see that? I got 2 copies of the boss kill. Well, it was probably a bit quick, but yes, I got 2 copies of the boss kill because technically I did not change map. So, when I enter the next map, where the boss should be, he's not going to be there, so it'll send me to the next mobs instead. So if you're running out of time, and I don't think you will, because your stats are probably going to be okay, but if you're running out of time, and the timer is being like, hey, you're going to run out of time, just come back to the main room, talk to the crystal again, and refresh it. So you've got no timer. And Burb, I totally get what you're saying, but I think one of the good things about... I beat this guy too. Yeah, the reason why it's glitching is because there's so many bosses that I killed in a row. Oh, see? And it did it again. I got another set of the kill. So there's not going to be anything in the next room. And I beat it. So yeah, because the boss is literally at the same spot when you get through, or I don't think no, it's not a drop chance. You just have to grind it a little bit. So for that, I wasn't using any drop charms or anything, so I only got 12. I would highly recommend using charms on the bosses to get these crystals. And then what you do is you fuse 100 of them into fragments of Hellfire Soul. So it is a bit of a grind. And then once you got 1,000 of them, you're going to talk to this lady here, who sells the formulas. Now, they are a little bit expensive, but I thought the level 95 ones had a way to craft without that. So hold on a second here. Let me double check. Crafter. No, I guess that wasn't an option anymore. I thought there was a way to just do an exchange here. So you'll need 1,000 of those, one of the rings that'll drop from one of the bosses, and then you have to buy the formula. And again, I know the formulas are a little on the expensive side, but ganbare. It's not like super expensive. And the benefit of this method is that you're guaranteed to get a flame weapon. You don't have to worry about the chance of getting an off element like you would if you were going to use the exchange and just grab one of the Sky Tower ones. I ended up using, is it this one? Yeah, this is the axe I used for my awakening on my scrub account, and I got the wrong element, which was very sad. Now, oh no, that's party mode only. Probably grab some more Eidolon food. I'm gonna run out of Eidolon food. So these dungeons, you get an entry every 480 minutes. So what that means practically is that in 50 minutes, it's going to reset. And then it'll reset again at 10 o'clock game time tonight. So you can technically run it 3 times a day. Highly recommend using charms on the bosses, but it is a quick run. It'll probably even still be a relatively quick run for you. Because there's no pen involved, it's not a 0 damage dungeon at that level. It's not bad at all. Hey, spell. Anyway, I was gonna try something else, and that was the patch notes say in all Otherworld 5-person hell instances, the boss treasure hunt count is increased to 5 times. So does that mean 2 extra or 5 extra? Let's see, what's a good hell or Otherworld to run? Probably Tree Cave, right? This Missy doesn't have super endgame gear going on here, so give this a shot and see what happens. Oh no, I was in combat, so it didn't feed her. I mean, absolutely valid to just use LP. There's literally nothing wrong with that, especially since it's not necessarily worth it to continue investing into pre-awakening gear. Now, specifically on Ravager, because of how much of your damage is coming from fire element skills, the level 95 weapon will probably serve you quite well for a decent amount of time. Like, I think I used my bad level 95 weapon right up until I got my S15 Kerbertus one. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to how many drops it was. 1 second. Shoot. Look at this. 0 AoE. But I can just spam this attack. No cooldown. Nocturnally, you typically want to reserve for your subclass, yeah. I tried so hard to get a Melanie core for my level 90 on my scrub account. I couldn't do it. I ended up just using a level 80. And I might legitimately still be using that level 80 harp. 5 total, so it's 2 extra drops for each boss in hell mode right now. Well, that is pretty lucky. There might be other players looking for them. I mean, I certainly was when I was trying to awaken. But yeah, the amount of investment required to get through awakening, it's a personal choice of whether or not you really want to do all that on level 90 gear, right? So I think it's just because there's not too many people around that level looking for them. So there's not a lot of people crafting them. But Destroyer, is that the crit damage one? Gosh, I'm sounding so out of it, playing for 10 years and can't even remember what the prefixes are. Alright, we're going to my Ravager. Oh, right, so the reason why Destroyer isn't so valuable nowadays is it's a lot easier in our version of the game to hit the damage or the defense reduction cap Now, I'm pretty sure it's 50%. So if you have, if your death shred percent is over 50%, it's not really doing anything because that's the max that you can debuff the percentage. So if you've got a whole bunch of other things that are shredding defense, an extra core there, not as valuable as other kinds of stats, right? I mean, if you're not capped on your defense shred, absolutely still worth using. There's not really an easy way, no. So you'd have to go through your skills and be like, okay, so this skill is decreasing its def, this skill is decreasing its def by percentage, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, there's so you do have, if you come into functions here, a target debuff tab that you can turn on. So when you're attacking an enemy, you can specifically see all of its debuffs, because I know that when you've got like a... unfortunately, Simo, you can't see it. You'd have to calculate it. So like you can use the target debuff to see all of the debuffs applied on an enemy, and then you can tell by quickly going over it to see if you're going over. But yeah, in early game, you're probably not capping. It's probably fine to use. But once you get into later game, and even 50% def shred isn't going to do all that much anyway. Anyway, the other thing is that these, if you use a bunch of these extra buff, then you'd probably be fine to use it. But yeah, if you use a bunch of these, sometimes the... oh, because you can't sell it. Gotcha. Quick costume change display. No, we don't want that. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to use these target buffs and target debuffs or self-buff and self-debuff tabs to be able to watch your stuff, just apparently, if you use a bunch of them, it'll increase the, like it makes the game run a little chunkier after a while. Which I'm pretty sure you could solve with just a relog, but you know, if you don't want to have to relog all the time, I usually just keep them off. I only use them when I really need to see what's going on. Anyway, speaking of... if I kitted this Missy out in proper gear, she could probably do party mode. But she is not kitted out in proper gear. Unfortified Wild Howl, which is a great set, but not at level 131. Fortified Bottom Eternia set. Not ideal. And what is this, level 10? Yeah, S10. So this Missy is definitely not geared out properly, which is why she is only running in the solo modes. But dang if Ravager ain't satisfying in this dungeon. Anyway, we had this Eidolon. Antilucan is the name I gave her, but that is absolutely Gazigla. And I kept this one because the lucky prefix, it's useless, but this is my item grinding character. So anytime I need to grind for an item like on a field map, this is the character I pull out. So she's got... does she even have them in her inventory right now? No. She's got a bunch of stuff for buffing drop rate in her bank. I originally made a lucky armor set too, but it was so low level I just gave up on it because I still wanted to be able to run to end level dungeons. I have no idea where it is now. But as you can see, she is not kitted out for running party mode. Her crit isn't even capped. And she is massively overcapped on crit damage. That's very cool. Alright, so when you're talking about crit damage, if you mouse over here, you'll see the upper limit for crit damage is currently 422%. And then, of course, as my debuffs run out, it'll drop down again. But as you can see, I've got an extra 85% crit damage bonus against bosses here. So if I'm already capped without my crit damage versus bosses, I am massively overcapped here. I am wasting a ton of crit damage. Now, the normal solution for that is to use Agni accessories, but like, I don't feel like fortifying another Agni just for a bunch of alt characters. So typically, I only have one of my characters properly geared out, and the rest of them are just passable. Oh, I could be using my pumpkin too, which, by the way, they put the stats back on so you can see the stats again. Finally. Feels like they add it and remove it accidentally every once in a while. Kind of like how, for precisely one patch, they had Yagami Hime named properly, and then they put her back to Hachijo Hime. So specifically for this item, as you can see, it's called US version contract summon. This summon was made for the area team. Like, the area team requested it be made and had it added in, so it's not in the Taiwan version. Simo, Agni is probably still gonna do the most because of the crit damage cap, as long as you're filling that extra 150%. Not a lot that's gonna compete with an extra 1.5 damage every time you crit, right? Especially if you've got like 100% crit rate. Not a lot will compete with that. That being said, the oh, there's the Dark Flame S25 set. Is it S25 or S15? Dark Flame, Dark Flame. Hold on. I gotta check it. I'm not gonna talk about the Paragon ones because I'm a cheapo and I don't have them either. But obviously, if you can get your hands on the what do you call them? Oh, we'll just go rare, awakening, fish. Black Scales, that's the one I was thinking of. Oh, it is S15. Okay, so is that the one? No, that's not it. This one, Black Scales. There we go. Max crit damage by 60% and damage to all targets by 20%. The benefit of this one is being able the Black Flame or the Black Scales Dark Flame Mantle set here, the Battle Soul set. The benefit of this is being able to use the higher level enchantments if you need more pen, plus more flat stats. So if you're struggling to keep like your crit damage capped inside dungeons and stuff, this is a slightly better choice because it's got a bit more crit on it, right? Like you can get more of those flat stats if you're getting debuffed too much inside the dungeons. That being said, you're probably going to take a DPS loss because it doesn't have as much crit damage cap. It's a bit of a trade-off, right? So if you desperately need more pen, this could be a functional choice, and like, it's Dragon Point exchangeable, so it's literally not even RNG about getting it. It's literally just grind some dungeons and you can eventually get your hands on that one, right? Crit damage isn't a bad choice. Crit damage is not a bad choice for your weapon if you're not filling your crit damage cap. So as I was pointing out earlier, if you watch in dungeons, if your upper limit for crit damage is... Oh, I should move this over here, sorry. If your upper limit for crit damage is significantly higher than the actual amount shown here, or I guess you should say shown here, plus your crit damage versus bosses, like if you've got space there, a crit damage core might be a really good choice. Although, honestly, accuracy might not be bad either. Like, I don't know if you remember doing Awakening and suffering and not hitting anything, but I do. No, crit damage is like 15%. It's the crit rate one that's 2%. Although, accuracy, honestly, though. 15% accuracy, is it? Eagle Core? Like, you don't hit. Honestly, I think most people don't use core weapons for their main weapon anymore. I'm pretty sure most people are using gold weapons at this point. Yeah, I think the last time I did a stream with Awakening... Yeah, to be honest, I can't think... Can't remember the last time I used an orange as a main weapon. He's breaking. Mess with people now. Hello, Tab. Breaking is the knockback core, the one where when you hit enemies it knocks them back, or has a chance to knock them back. Definitely do not use that. Nocturnal sub is definitely a must. Like, even this character who looks like she's not using a nocturnal sub is indeed using a nocturnal sub. But she's just using a cheap version. Sometimes you just don't want to bother crafting one. Sometimes you just want to... the good thing about this one is because my stats are good enough that I don't need to worry about it for what I'm using this character for, I picked this one because it's got move speed as a substat. You can see that there, it's got the 5% move speed. That's really what I bought this one for. Yes, it's a level 58, but yeah. Well, Tab, personally, I find it to be fun to play Aura Kingdom. But you are talking to, like, someone who's legitimately just having fun, killing things, watching my flame axe bounce around. I find playing the game to be fun. So if you would like to start again, there's tons of benefits for new players on the server. Specifically, if you want to play on this version of it, you've got all sorts of little goodie bags that are going to help you so that you shouldn't feel a ton of friction playing, but you just got to keep in mind what it is that you're playing. So if you like intrinsically find the game to be fun, you can absolutely get a ton of enjoyment out of it without feeling pressured to spend money for quite a while. But if you don't like if you don't like doing what I'm doing right now, I'm grinding dungeons, I'm doing goofing around. This is the official server. This is the official X Legend global server. If you don't enjoy the grind, so to speak, you're not gonna enjoy the game long term. But if you do, or if you just want to kind of vibe out in the world with what's going on here, you'll be able to play probably for, oh gosh, I'd say a little while, and again, not feel any friction or feel forced to spend a bunch of money or anything. And there is no harm in playing the game for a bit, enjoying it, and just leaving once you're not having fun anymore, right? Absolutely. So actually, how about once I finish this dungeon, I'm gonna switch over to my alt account, because I guess it's a little over 2 years now, I created an alt account so I could test out what it's like for new players. And I'll show you what I was able to do with just minimal playing for like 2 years. I grind dungeons when I feel like it. And yes, Simo, I am playing with a controller. You can tell because the mouse is being controlled by a D-pad. Or maybe you can hear it on my microphone. I should actually focus on the dungeons that have about bonuses running just because of the extra... just because of the extra drops, but I do kind of want to get this Missy to cap. It's just my Duelist is so close to cap, it feels very silly to not make Duelist the next one. I should probably move the pumpkin over. Missed ya. Yeah, so the turning obviously is also going to be it. I made a video about how my controller setup works, but basically, my left stick is WASD, and then my right stick is turn. So when I move forward and turn, that controls the angle the character's facing. Alright, so I said I would, so I will. Back to login. This is my alt account I'm going to log into here. Now, I haven't put a ton of effort into anyone other than my first character. So as you can see, I've got a couple of these lobies, and the specific purpose for these ones was when the servers merged, I wanted free characters. Anyway, so I've got Awakening Lance here that has the wrong weapon equipped. Awakened Bow here that's very sad. I struggled a little bit with this one because the new bow is very awkward. I have a Stellar Sphere who's using a harp for some reason. Yes, there is a way to get free character slots. I'll show you in the LP store. I love Stellar Sphere. Like, it is a great class. That was such an easy awakening. On this account, she had barely anything better than Scrub, because all she did was inherit Scrub's same equipment, and she breezed through Awakening like nobody's business. Stellar Sphere is such a comfy class to play. And then my Ravager, because I love Ravager. Oh, there you go. You found it, yeah. So when the servers merged, basically you got free expansion slots. But if I delete the characters, they're not unlocked. Oh yeah, no, you can get them free. So those spots there are not unlocked. I would need to actually go and use the expansions, which they're under other, right? Yeah, right there. So, I mean, I'm just having fun. I wouldn't even say it's motivation so much as just number go up, me happy. So anyway, check this out, this cutie. Over the years, they've been giving away a decent amount of, like, Eidolon keys. So I have this Missy, and she is a 4-star Eidolon with fully activated buffs. So she does quite a bit here for this account. But prior to her, and for my Awakening, I actually used Grim because he's got the I think he's got the pretty good fire skill damage there on his 4th star. So this is actually my setup that I used for my Awakening, was a 4-star Grim with actually upgraded skills, which is probably not a great use of Starstones, but whatever. Anyway, now I've got my Ow-End on that I'm working on for the skills, and she's pretty, she's just got scary sound effects. Yes, it is possible to make characters with no sub. My last Awakening rush that I did when I was probably not in the right mind was subless. Gosh, what class was that? I don't even remember. I'll show you how to do it too. Hold on a second, I have to go back to my lives and I have to see what class it was because I can't even remember. I literally do not remember what class I did the Awakening on. It was Holy Sword, that's right, it was Kanono, my Holy Sword. And I did it no subclass, and I even thought I might try to do it without a yeah, it's just always there. You just kind of push it off to the side and call it a day. But yeah, so the rules for this account are that I don't get anything free from my main account. Anytime I take something from my main account, I have to give something back. So this is my collection of fragments that I have gotten legitimately on this account, except that anytime I get a fragment for an Eidolon I need on my main, I steal it. So if anything, this account is actually doing worse off than it should be because I keep stealing things from it. Oh, I do need dimensional crystals, those are fine. But as you can see, I got oath rings, so if I really needed to liquidate quickly, I can get some G here. Got some VIP sprites. I got plenty of wish coins too. I gotta pick an eidolon to wish or use the wish coins on. I get some temporary manuals. As you can see. Yeah, so she's sitting on a bit of a trove here, but I don't really want to liquidate them. The problem right now is that they just, and I've said it, I was mentioning it earlier, but I feel like they overvalue the oath rings. Whereas we were used to them being relatively accessible, they kind of overvalue them. Man, my inventory's a mess. I really do gotta to buy some backpacks, but as you can see, LP is a little bit less of a cakewalk on this account. But that's because I don't play it anywhere near as much as my main. So yeah, I play this account very chill, maybe like... Some days I just do Dimensional Hall and, whatchamacallit, Dimensional Hall and a Bond dungeon. When I want to actually make progress, it's a little different. But, yeah, she's got herself a nice plus 30 S15 Kerberos weapon. And I'm still using my level 80 Nocturnal sub. Probably the best way is still goats. So if you've got the goat spreadsheet to learn when to worry about them. I got my Agni by exchanging in the encyclopedia. And I am still in S10 gear here because I was working on fortifying up my bestial S20 bottom set. Oh, the goat hunter spreadsheet. It is where they track the goat spawns. Are you familiar with the Goat World bosses? Next spawn is in 2 hours. Yes, they're still the best way to get LP for pre-awakening. Yeah, they made some paragons where those big experience rocks were like handed out like candy, so all of my eidolons in my vein are finally fully fed. Eidolon food has crashed in price. Well, I'd say let's go and do them, but yeah, there's still about 2 hours till they spawn, so I don't know that I'll still be streaming when they spawn. Specifically right now, the goats are extremely weak, so you gotta make sure that you're there right before they start, and also take off your gear, because even you will be doing too much damage to them, and they're not gonna survive very long. Now, with that being said, I did make a video about how the goats work, so if you need some assistance figuring out how that does, check out my World Bosses video. Anyway, I can't just come to this character and not run anything, so let's see. Yeah, just do some solos. And again, this Miss Missy has 0 archive, basically. In fact, I'll show you her archive, which is the wrong button. Hello, Matera-san. So every time I do a live stream, I put up a poll the day before to say, what do you want to see? And a little while back, people were complaining about the no sleep in option. So I made an option that says ban it. And that won. But the banned option now keeps winning. So maybe we need to unban the banned option. Anyway, I'm sorry, I was just showing off my archive here. The only archive I have beyond flat stats is Thunder Spirit, which is irrelevant on this class, which has no thunder elements. And yes, Tragus, the quest will complete even if you don't choose a sub. Which I know 100% to be true because I've literally beaten Awakening without picking a sub. These lightning guys are annoying. Maybe don't delete it. I mean, if you've got the time to redo. See, the problem with subless on a fresh account is that you don't have as much pen. So being able to have pen, like a pen card in your sub weapon is helpful, right? Oh goodness, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. I wonder if she could do the S15 party hells. Maybe I'll try that. Because she's doing just fine here. Oh, I don't know why you guys vote to ban the option and then you vote for the banned option. How's my cosmetic archive? It's not miserable. But again, I'm a thief. So anytime I get something cute on this account that I don't have on my main, I steal it. If anything, as I said, this account is at a detriment, not an advantage for me having a main, because I steal everything. Whoop. Almost died there. Alright, let's see. So if we go to owned, as you can see, I got some hats. Got some nice hats. I got some pretty hats. This is technically the hat that matches the costume, but I don't know, I like the one I've got here more. Face costumes there's not actually even really that many of them, but, you know, I've got a small collection. I get some cute outfits. But again, anytime it's something that my main account wants, I just steal it. A little while back, I think it was around Christmas, they handed out just boxes of free costumes. Oh, man, I wish I had this one on my main. I actually really like this one, but I found it here. Although I prefer the blue version. House furniture, the Eidolon statues are a great way to increase your archive easily, so anytime you see somebody giving them away free, and I nab them. And then they've been giving away free contracts for a while as well, so that's why I've got a decent amount of like little contracts here. Huh, I forgot I had Vaughn here. Ooh, and Delphonia, I don't think that was a free one. Oh, it might have been. I don't remember. And yes, you're right, they don't have a lot for males, but such is life. These guys must have a bit of resist to fire elements since I'm pretty easily... No, I guess I'm not really easily one-shotting the other guys either. So if you're not getting caught up on wanting to solo the party modes, then, as you can see, not exactly the best gear in the world. You already saw that my archive is next to nothing. Oh, not that archive, this one here. I've got some flat stats, but my only, like, bonus is lightning skill damage, which this this class isn't using. But I'm still able to do pretty good in solo modes. Like again, as long as you're not getting caught up on you really want to solo the party modes, it's really not that suffering. Basically, yeah. So right now, what I'm kind of saving up for is picking up a Holy Spirit, and I don't even really want a fancy one. But I'm also not putting that much effort into it because I can do what I need to do, right? Like I don't have, there's no like point of friction where there's something I want to do that I can't. Oh, got an extra. I couldn't do Tree Cave Hell mode when I beat Awakening on this account. So I'd say if you can beat Tree Cave Hell mode, it's probably a cakewalk in Awakening, but no, I couldn't do that on this account when I beat my Awakening. Because I tried. So I know that for a fact. Anyway, I was just thinking I'd like to try the Otherworld Hell here. Because I wonder if she might be able to do it. This is a stretch, I think. Let's see. What do you guys have to say for yourself? Oh? I mean, I'm not going to be mowing down mobs, but with my boss damage where it's at, this could be fine. Sorry, Master Whipstorm. Oh, wait, not see. My Whipmaster is on my other account, so I don't mind going over and checking it out. But if you're playing Whipmaster, you're playing Storm. Don't ever try another element on Whipmaster. Alright, here's the moment of truth. My HP is kind of low. That's where this account kind of suffers. But, yeah. I probably don't want to use a controller for this. Hold on, we're gonna go real mode. And I'm currently using the tea with figs and royal rainbow jelly for food. So if I can't beat this, we'll blame it on the food. The move speed does depress me too, but it is what it is. I've learned to accept it. Oh hey, I've got 11 Connection Master emblems here. I really gotta start using those. Yep. Those stuns kind of hurt though. I didn't even notice how much I got his HP down. Yesterday doing the Vulture's Veil daily mission for the Grey Mountain from inside a DJ or whatever. Oh, I don't normally pop my buffs just because it can get expensive if you're using them all the time. See, I don't even have any handy. I'm actually not sure what you're talking about, Simo. A DJ? I don't think there's a dungeon in Vulture's Veil, is it? Yeah, it's these stuns I think that are getting me the most. Yeah. I figured if I used the Whirlwind Slash to heal while I was stunned, it might work, but I think the issue here is actually just my HP. So that'll be solved by upgrading my armor set, I think. Oh, the instances. Yes, sorry. Those are for oh, but I think those have contracts as the rewards. And my understanding is that you must have a party for them. You can't run them alone. Alright, we're just gonna spin around in the middle here. Siphon a bunch of life off of them. Stun them. Siphon life. No, it's the stuns. They're really hitting too hard. No, Harp is just too comfy. Harp is just way too comfy for me to bother changing over. I don't get enough lifesteal on this account for it to be worth switching over to sub shinobi. I just find it to be so much more comfortable. And if I remember to use it, it's good for healing. Plus the stun. You can't really beat an AoE stun, right? Alright, we'll do one more try and then I'll move on because I do want to get back to my main account for a bit. Alright. And you guys like being stunned. No. Honestly, with a little more HP, I think I could rock it. Like I said, I'm not even using Nalini, I'm using a level 80. I've definitely got the damage for it. It's just the surviving. So, a little bit more HP and I think she'd be cooking in there. But that's fine. Well, sure, I could pull out the buffs. I could pull out detailed damage. Wrong emoji. I could pull out my detailed damage food if I don't know if I have any. I could use my greater harming potion. I could use some Navia Noble cuisine. There's a lot that I could pull out here if I really wanted to grind hard on here, but like I said, I'm just kind of being chill right now. Oh yeah, I was gonna grind out a dark weapon for my Stellar Saphir, but she's still at S2, so it's not like she's really in dire need of a new weapon right away. Anyway, that's fine. Anyway, so as you can see, if you're playing solo modes, like you're supposed to be for playing solo, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna hit these gigantic walls once your gear is kind of like passable. But you're not dashing through party modes the same way that people that have spent either 10 years playing or have put some money in. The Eidolon Archive really is the key, but again, you need that basically only if you're trying to solo party content or the high-level abysses. Because this account does nowhere near as much damage in the high-level abyss, but in the second, like in the S15, she's okay. She's perfectly okay. She could grind out S15 weapons for any class she wanted. I know that being carried is faster. Absolutely being carried is faster, but so would playing in a proper party. I think the issue here is that the gap between the people that are super, like, entry-level gear and the people that are high-level gear means that there's no way for them to even keep up. And if you had a full set, like if you had a full team of super high-level players, they're one-tapping the bosses anyway, so not everybody's even getting drops. So I think there's a gap between the beginner-level gear and end-level gear means that unless you've got like a party of people that are working together and all at about the same level, it's not even worth running sometimes. Like, it's not worth even trying to keep up because they can't. Yeah, so... yeah, this is my subless. So now you see why I don't spend too much time on my alt account and I just steal stuff from her. She would be stronger if I hadn't stolen stuff from her, but like, you know, gosh, I opened up an egg. Normally I even steal all her eggs. I opened up one egg for Kuberi on her and got Kuberi. And I'm like, dang it, now I can't transfer the egg over to, or the key over to my main. So what did I do? But I made Scrub Link until I had another Kuberi key and stole all of the frags. My alt account would be doing way better if she wasn't chained to being a changed to being to funding my main account here, but oh hey, those are still active? I guess they are. Anyway, this is my subless, as you can see. No sub. And you just gotta ignore this every time you pass through a portal. Pops back up, you stick it away, and you just kind of don't think about it. Hey, I mean, if I put it over here, you guys can't even see it. She's not very strong, though. Barely got any gear on there. Oh, hey, Resonant. Right, someone has to see Whipmaster. Now, I don't think he's got gear on. Oh, I'm sure that is the case. But if you think about how your subclass generally is only providing debuffs or heals, really what you're missing is the debuffs or heals, right? Oh no, my 10... I bet you I had a bunch of LP in there that all expired. Rip. Yeah, you can see it here. Your LP expired. I mean, this isn't a really good place to show him off, but he's got no gear. I mean, people stop by now and then, but it's not like it's like the most popular game in the world. It's not like you've got a bajillion people clamoring at the doors to try Aura Kingdom. It's, I'd say there's new people that do start playing, because I see the people that are new that start playing that are asking questions that I try to help with, but like, it's still a 10-year-old game. Actually, it's closer to like 15 years old now, eh? I feel like every once in a while you get people just come back because they feel nostalgic, they give it a play for a bit, they get through the nostalgia, and then they move on again, which is kind of nice. That it's still around for people to do that. And then you got people like me, who just never left. You know what? Sorry, I guess we gotta go back to character select for a second. So, when you look at my characters, anybody that's above, like, S3, I run dimensional halls on them. So, Sasago here is currently the one that I'm working on dimensional hall, the lowest one that I'm working on dimensional halls with. Everybody else, I've played at least a bit. It's only once you hit level... Oh gosh, even Lance I've barely played, and it's S30. These ones up here, these are the ones that I've actually legitimately played a significant amount. These ones are new characters I made when the servers merged. These ones I have not played very much at all, so I don't have a lot of experience. So my Shinobi, he's kind of languishing here. You know, they did create a gear storage system in Impact, which would have been great if the rest of the game had actually been more fun. But the rest of the game felt way worse to play. They had a lot of quality of life stuff that would have been really nice to have in our version of the game, but it's a waste when the rest of the game hurts to play. Oh, what? I'm pretty sure... Let's go back there for a second. I think I beat Awakening in Harvey. No, I didn't. I remember starting it in Harvey and it was really miserable, so I bought a new weapon. But remember, I've got Archive, so I don't have to worry as much about some stats. Specifically Pen. I don't need to worry about Pen. Oop. Yeah, sorry I didn't do it in Harvey. I did it in a blue 98. Right, because I was in my Harvey gear and I was like, this sucks. But I didn't want to back out. So I bought level 98. I just grabbed it out of here, didn't I? Oh, holy sword. Yeah. No, like, if I had bought it, it would have been a unique greatsword. Where? Oh, oh, sorry, that's S level 1. My apologies. Actually, where the heck did I get this thing? I bet you it was just in my inventory or something. Oh, hey, Lousy. Yeah, no, I didn't put a lot of thought into this character's gear. They've got a mostly Imperial set here for the move speed, and we just kind of went. Because I did it as a rush. I did it on a live stream. I started the character up and I just went. It was kind of suffering. I was expecting to do better than I did, and then I felt very embarrassed about overestimating my capabilities. Yes, unfortunately. But, like I said, that's going in completely unprepared and still beating it compared to being properly prepared, right? Like, you don't wake up one day and suddenly you've got an archive. Even if you were to put like $1 bajillion into the game right now, it's not like you could actually just buy an archive with money that easily because it's based on Eidolon availability and stuff. So, yes, I did prepare all the proper gear in the past when I beat it on my account. And back in my day, we couldn't buy them in the LP store. I don't have an issue with them making it accessible in the LP store, though. Right. No, I was supposed to go back to whip, because somebody asked to see the whip. Now, what can I run on this whipmaster in bad level 80 unfortified gear that actually shows anything off about the class? Yes, and the world falls apart after a little while, don't worry about it. When you change characters or enter in and out of dungeons a lot, the world starts to fall apart. But it's just flavor. This is flavor. Did I get lost a little bit? Yeah. What's the Mastery Storm skill? It is not that great. Received DPS plus 20%, but if you were to ask me to quantify how helpful that is, I don't know. Like, what I don't get about this skill is it actually affecting dots? Or is it a damage taken plus 20%? Like, there's no way that's damage taken plus 20%. But you're not doing... Like, is it supposed to synergize with Shadow Strike here? It doesn't feel like that's super valuable. Right? So what I take it as is another skill that's Storm, because your main Storm skill is Blood Whip. And yes, dungeons reset, but also the abysses reset, so if you ran your Abyss of Fire, go back now. Now what do I think he could actually run? That's right, but this one is so ridiculous that it's worth having. Let's try Swamp Forest. I don't know if I could beat it on this character in this gear, but... Beat up Vaughn for you. I'm sorry, Lassie, I just literally picked a different dungeon right now. Sorry about that. We'll try party mode. Storm Eidolon, just because... Onin? But thanks for stopping by, Lassie. Hope you're doing okay. Okay, yeah, no, this place is a little bit too easy. I forgot I'm still level 140. So the benefit of this class is that this skill is ridiculous. So the mastery skill does have some range on it. I should be able to hit... I was going to say I should be able to hit that guy, and then I ran to the wrong side. It sends out rays, kind of like the Tachi Storm skill. Anyway, when you activate Blood Rush, and then use this, it absolutely nukes whatever it's touching. And you can administer your Blood Rush when you get bosses and stop it so that you can keep it charged when you actually need it. Alternatively, you do have the choice of activating this as a healing skill if you're in a pinch, but the only situations where I see this being an actually good choice is when you're in a 0 damage dungeon, because this is a percent-based heal, so it's not reliant on your damage numbers. So if you try to use something like Holy Notes in a 0 damage dungeon, you're not healing that much because it's based off your damage. This one is just a percent-based one, so it's not affected by your damage reduction. Hello, Anime Master! I mean, it's like a... What, did we just say it was 15 years old? So it's an older MMO, and it's basically got the same issues that most older MMOs got, in that there's not a lot of players at the early levels, and the curve has been adjusted so you'll move up real quick. But there's still people. There's still people. Anyway, I was gonna turn on my personal damage value, because then when I attack this next boss with my Blood Whip... Well, this game isn't run by Area anymore, right? So X-Legend took back the publishing rights. So they were always the developer, but Area had the publishing rights, and they transferred back to X-Legend. So this is what was formerly the Area server. I don't know how to estimate how many players there are. I see people around every day, but typically... Well, the Area Gamiko is gosh, I don't even know all the nuances, and I was literally one of the game sages with Area / Gamiko. Whipmaster. Whipmaster over Duelist any day, and the reason for that is that... Okay, did you guys see how many hits that was getting on him per second? That's ridiculous. You will never catch me say anything bad about the people that I worked with at Gamiko. Every individual that I worked with at the company was a wonderful person who was doing their best and very stretched to the limit. I adored all of the staff members that I had the opportunity to speak with and work with when I was working with Gamiko. And yes, my NDA is expired, so I could tell you any garbage if there had been some. There was none. I loved everybody that worked there, and I wish nothing but the best for them. But in terms of like being a publisher for a game, they made choices people didn't like as a company. And I think some of the choices they made were beneficial as well, like the fact that they didn't release Kurt's Revolver, or that they were much more generous in terms of like oath rings. But yeah, no, the people there, lovely, love them all, always will. They made good choices too. One of the other good choices that they made was they made the Nightmares permanent dungeons. So Nightmares right now are not permanent dungeons. They run them in cycles so that every once in a while... Okay, well, I can't say what they did about other games, to be fair, because I didn't play anything other than Grand Fantasia, but I quit that when I started Aura Kingdom. But yeah, they've made choices for the games, and some of them were good, and some of them didn't hit right, but you will never catch me say anything negative about any of the people that were working, or the people that were dealing with the brunt of the community anger about some of those choices, because literally every single person I dealt with was amazing. And like, especially Lotus. Lotus deserved better than the position the company put him in. Gosh, I think Lotus was managing like multiple languages for multiple games alone by the end there. Oh, I was a game sage, so I had some direct communication lines with the staff. And technically, I still am, but there's a little bit less direct communication with the staff members. Oh, well, that's no idea what happened there. I gotta say, but when it comes to players that were banned, gosh, there were some people I wish had been banned faster. So, basically useless. I'm doing my best with the tools that I've got, but unfortunately, what the majority of people wanted from the game sages was events and free stuff. So I have put on some events since the transfer, but in the past, the area team, or GameGo team, I guess I should say, sponsored the prizes that were being given out. And obviously, with them no longer being in the picture, and X Legend didn't want to continue that. So anything that's been given out in an event since then was stuff that either I personally put up or stuff that was donated for the event. Like when they first merged together all the language servers, we put on like a huge event, and like I had gold that was donated, I had eidolons that were donated, I had so much stuff that was donated that we ended up giving away, and I think people really enjoyed participating. Like, we had some pretty good participation. But even then, I had people complaining about it. People complaining that I made people spam in world chat. Okay, so what we did was we had I made a and got donated a whole bunch of coffee in game. Like, I'm a coffee fan. It can't be a surprise. I've literally got coffee on my desk for my character here. But basically, we made a bunch of coffee, and then we announced the event as "Yell Coffee Me" in World Chat, and you will get a free coffee in the mail. And then you would also be entered into draw for the prizes. So I was trying to do an awakening rush. I think it was like I went 9 hours straight until I ran out of time because we were going to do Sky Tower or something. So I didn't quite make my awakening, but then we gave away all the stuff, and it was super fun to everybody who had said "Coffee Me." And there were some people that did not even know that they were entering. They just saw people shouting "Coffee Me" in World Chat, and then they copied, and then they got a coffee. I don't work for them, Matera. But I have signed an agreement that I will assist with like moderation, and in exchange I have an NDA for anything I individually discuss with the staff. So I can't talk too much about what happens behind the scenes. My NDA, I also had an NDA with GameGo at the time that I was working for them, but that is expired now, which is what I said earlier, but like, there's no tea to spill. The people that I dealt with were lovely. But yes, I do technically still have a GS character in-game. And I do technically still have mute rights, so if something horrible is going on, I can pump the brakes extremely hard. When necessary. Anyway, whether or not you find coffee to be enjoyable or not, aside, it was a fun event because it was an in-game item, right? Like, that's probably one of the golden lattes left over from the event, to be honest, because we made so many. I made several different levels of items as well, and then I was just randomly choosing which one to send out to people. It was a lot of fun. Man, I'd love to capture that kind of energy again, but the problem is that, like, It's complicated. The way it's I think it has to do with the way the mute system works. I can't really explain too much more about that because that is getting a little bit too close, but there's yeah, there's limitations with regards to how the mute is done. Infusion is not in this version of the game, so it sounds like you might be playing Impact, because the version that we're playing here does not have skill infusions. Man, I was so excited about that. Oh gosh. So my favorite Eidolon is Tyr. Apparently Tyr is so freaking broken on the Impact server still, and they finally patched it because I have a friend that updates me on Tyr's situation on the Impact server, and they're like, oh, they patched it, and then like 20 minutes later, I found another exploit with the Tyr. Oh, I'm glad I was there in the golden time of the Tyr nuke, but yeah. There was some fun to be had. Just, unfortunately, the Eidolon infusion system, it's very frustrating that it required 4-star Eidolons, because it made it so inaccessible for the average free-to-play. Like, I didn't 4-star my Tyr legitimately in-game. I was talking about the system and how I wanted to test it out, but that it would take me a really long time. Yeah, I'm familiar with how the infusion system works in Impact. But what I was saying is that it's just so inaccessible for free-to-play players anyway. So when I was talking in the Discord about how I wanted to test stuff out with like Tyr's infusion, but it was going to take me forever to get to the infusion because of how much LP it was going to cost, and like LP was such a tightly restricted resource. Like, it was so hard to get enough LP to be able to afford it. There was a very kind person in Discord that was like, okay, and just bought me the rest of the stuff and mailed it to me, which was extremely kind of them, but just kind of frustrating in terms of like, I really wanted to be able to test it out and see how it worked, but it wasn't accessible for like other free-to-play players to even legitimately get that. Just sad. But lightning Tyr forever. Oh. Did I live stream it? No, I'm pretty sure I just recorded it. But when Tyr was actually at his most broken, at least quite ridiculously broken, basically they made it so that anytime a skill hit a target, it triggered a lightning field on the ground below them, because the lightning bounce was causing too much lag, so they changed it into a field that dropped below the target, but they made it so that it worked no matter what the target was. So if you used Tyr infusion on a healing skill, like Ballad, as a main bard, and then you used Ballad in a group, and it hit everybody in that group, then it triggered the lightning field below every one of the members of your party. And their Eidolons if you weren't in Sky Tower, where you can't have Eidolons out. But even worse is that for Bard, if you use these green harmony notes, your holy notes hits things outside of your party. So you're standing in Sky Tower, and you're attacking, like with regular attack skills as a bard, to build up the harmony notes, the green ones, and then you throw out a holy notes, and it hits everybody around you, even when they're not in your party, in a giant AoE, And then it drops a lightning field on every single one of those players. Like, it was insane. It was glorious. Unintentional, of course. It didn't last very long. They patched that out. But, lightning tier is still reigning supreme for some people over there. And I mean, we had odd interactions in this version of the game as well. Like, one time they accidentally bugged out your archive so that the stats were all wrong. But when they did it, what they accidentally gave everybody was a ridiculously high physical archive. When the game was alive in 2020, I think a lot of online games, as a result of COVID, saw a huge influx of players around that time because people were just looking for things to do. And when it comes to anime MMOs, you've really only got a couple viable options. And I mean, I enjoy Blue Protocol, but it's not the silver bullet. It's a different kind of MMO. And it's got autoplay, so it doesn't feel very satisfying to play much. I really enjoy playing it with my Blue Protocol with my friends, but the costumes kind of suck, which I think is a real killer for an anime-style MMO when you can't do a lot of customization. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the customization options that are available for free-to-play. I don't know how many people are in SD anymore because I don't bother. There's, the one thing that would be valuable for me to get would be the Olympus Holy Cups, but because of my work schedule, I never know if I'm going to be available for any of them, and you need quite a decent number to be able to get the prizes, so it's like... It's not really even, like, worth attempting to run. Well, Impact, was Impact charging that much for costumes? I mean, even on my Scrub account, I didn't end up spending a ridiculous amount on costumes. In fact, I was, like, absolutely dead set that I needed to get my hands on the glasses. Like, 100% dead set. Yeah, there might be more raid groups on Impact, that is true. But there's also probably more to gain out of it. But from our version, you might think that some of these costumes are like super absurdly overpriced at 50,000. But I mean, if you look at me, I don't have enough things that I can spend my LP on weekly anyway, so I tend to nab up these newer ones that are at the high priced. If I don't, I think I actually have most of these just on characters. Actually, that's a pretty cute one. Hello, guy. But yeah, like once you get into Vault of Eternity parties, you're gonna have more LP than you know what to do with anyway. Honestly, I really should start doing Vault of Eternity again, just because I'm, yeah, it's not too much if you're post-awakening, but, like, on Scrub, I ended up getting costumes from, like, events and stuff, and then, I bought the glasses off of other players, and I was like, man, I really want glasses! I just want glasses! Give me the glasses! And somebody ended up giving them to me for free, and I felt really bad because I thought it was breaking the rules of the account because somebody was giving me something free. But ultimately that person didn't know who I was, so after I was shouting that I really wanted to buy glasses for a while and they just sent them for free, I figured that was fair enough game. I'm just a glasses person, what can I say? Now, Okay, there's not too many people here, so I guess a spoiler alert. I saw a pair of glasses yesterday. It was a good pair of glasses, and I literally just loved them so much. I literally started crying at the sight of the final. So I did not. I didn't hit my goal in time for the pre-order window to get the Nier themed skirt. Ultimately, when I was finally at the point where I was like, well, do I just order it now and keep it in a box until I hit my goal? Turned out they didn't have a large size. So Asian sized clothing does tend to be smaller. So whereas I would normally wear like medium North American clothing, I would have needed a large, and like they didn't have a large, so that's sad. So I've got a new target for my rewarding clothes endeavor. And this one, the pre-order is open until the date of my goal. And things are going well in terms of the goal. Okay, so I don't play Star Rail. I do not play Honkai Star Rail, but Hoyo makes really nice looking clothes. Like, I really like the design of a lot of it. And they released this Anaxa themed outfit. And just, I don't know, man. I look at that skirt, it's like, I don't know the character, but that's a pretty skirt. Can't help it. The skirt do be pretty. So that's kind of one of the options. Or, well, it's an actual outfit inspired by the character, not explicitly like cosplay. So the other thing I was looking at was my favorite Genshin character. Well, maybe I shouldn't say favorite because I've got a couple that are tied now, but my old favorite Genshin character, my old number one, nobody could beat, was Tartaglia. And they released, or they've got his outfit, his inspired outfit up for pre-order. It's just that his is a little too close to just being a cosplay. So I've got one eye on the Anaxa outfit and one eye on the child outfit. And as I get closer, I'll worry about it. Theirs actually do come in large. So they fit. I know that they fit. Clothes. I wear my Genshin Impact Wanderer clothes to work like at least once a week because it's so comfy and nice. And I swear, like, every week somebody else stops me and is like, man, you just dress so nice. And it's like, do I tell them this is video game apparel or do I just let it sit? But I mean, once you're out of high school, literally nobody gives much of a crap about whatever you're wearing. Nobody cares enough to say anything. But if I had dressed this way in high school, I absolutely would have been bullied to bits. But once you're an adult, literally nobody cares. Although I do feel, maybe this is just me being self-conscious still, but I do feel like sometimes you see people just staring like, what the hell? In the background, but they don't come to your face and make a deal out of it like kids did when I was younger. People were mean to me in high school about that kind of stuff. Midday trick check. Today I am wearing my PJs still. If they just judge in the background, they're not going to come and make a scene out of it to your face, which is like, I couldn't care less. But back when I was a kiddo, I felt very self-conscious about what I was wearing because that wasn't how it worked. You'd have people come up and make a scene and like make fun of you for it in person, but... And I didn't have the guts to just be midday unk. Yeah, I'm pretty unk. Well, how about I put it this way? When Aura Kingdom came out, and we're talking 15 years ago, I was not in high school anymore. So yes, I am probably older than you might be thinking. Not chopped. Oh, what does chopped mean in this context? I'm geezer. I'm unk. I'm so unk you can't even unhandle it. Is chopped ugly? Listen, in terms of like physical appearance, yes, I'm using a VTuber model, but no, I'm not exactly hiding my actual face. You can find it. Is that what chopped means? I didn't realize that's what it meant. I'm not hip with the kids and the lingo anymore, guys. I knew what unk meant, but... Oh no. Aura as in so many Aura Kingdom characters, right? That's what everybody means when they say aura. I'm fine. Frame mogging. Okay, I think you made that one up. I'm fairly confident I know what looks maxing is, and no, I'm just, I've reached a point where I actually have the confidence I wish I had when I was a kid to just wear what I wanted. I mean, obviously there's some restrictions in terms of, like, when I'm at work, it's gotta be work appropriate, right? But, you know, as long as all the important parts are covered, it doesn't really matter. I think our work technically says you're not allowed to wear t-shirts, but a lot of people do anyway. But I don't. Although I actually really don't have a lot of t-shirts, but I did buy, what do you call it? The first time CoffeeZilla put out t-shirts when he was like fundraising for his lawyer fees, I did buy one of the t-shirts that he put out, and it's like literally one of my favorite t-shirts. Oh, I'm glad you checked them out, Kai. I stopped making them, not because there was any issue with like the performance, because I'm not too worried about performance, I'm just having fun, but because the recipes got so much more complicated and expensive. And it's like, I can't really afford to keep making this kind of stuff. But it was a lot of fun. I can't remember what the actual name of the recipe is anymore because it's kind of just been adapted into my repertoire as that potato dish. The potato dish with like the layer of meat in the middle. Oh my freaking gosh, that one is so good. But I actually just really like trying different kinds of recipes. Like, I had some co-workers from Europe, like at a Europe office at my previous company. And I kept asking them to introduce me to food. And I made notes about the different dishes. It's also probably hard to catch a live stream when I don't have a schedule at all either. Or when I put a note up that says what time I'm starting and I accidentally pick PM instead of AM, so it's 12 hours off. Kazimov. Which one is Kazimov? I forget. Why am I forgetting what Kazimov is? Is he, My brain is saying it's a lizard guy. Oh, squid. Squid. Glacial Ice Cavern Kazimov. Oh, when he jumps up into the sky? That one's done. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Really? You think I dislike the second boss way more than I dislike Kazimov. Like, Kazimov's a bit annoying, but at least you could still lifesteal off the little guys he spawns. The second boss, if he freezes you and like you're just sitting there with no area of effect, you're dead. I do not like the second boss of Glacial Ice Cavern. Oh hey, I got a mastery level. I don't think I really needed to put a point there. I found the physical resistance to be quite nice on my Awakening account. Like, it adds a lot of survivability. I did put up a picture when I tried it, and truthfully, the cilantro lime sour cream actually was an excellent companion to it, but it was even better when it also had katsu sauce. So katsu sauce plus the cilantro lime sour cream, that was like, it was such a good combination all together. Like, the flavors worked really, really well. I'm sorry if that was a little bit cursed for anybody else, but it was like just a shockingly good combination of flavors. Because the katsu sauce is it is acidic, but it's still got a certain amount of sweetness to it, and it really played off the cilantro and lime super well. Honestly, I'm kind of just getting hungry thinking about it. Not as usual, I am aiming for about 3 hours here, so maybe after 20 minutes I gotta go make some food. Oh, I got chicken. I have chicken in the fridge that I need to do something with today. I was thinking about just kind of season didn't came here to make me feel hungry. Yes, you did. But truth be told, I do need to do some cooking today because I need to prep some stuff for next week, but like, I've got this chicken and I'm of two minds because, like, on one hand I'm thinking maybe like a stuffed chicken breast. Like, maybe I'll go to the store, grab like, I don't know, cream cheese or something and do like a broccoli and cream cheese stuffed chicken breast kind of thing. I vibe. That sounds like it could be nice. But the problem with that is that there's no way that is lasting more than like 2 days, because I will literally just be like, this is delicious, I'm a chow. Alternatively, just roast it with some seasonings and then maybe like roast some peppers and other veggies and kind of serve it as like a oh, I don't know, serve it a tortilla or something maybe. I still have some cilantro. That actually wouldn't be bad. Because presently, the other stuff I've got prepped as my meal prep is pasta with beef tomato sauce, butter chicken, and a pork stew that's actually a little on the older side, so I should probably move the pork stew to the front of the rotation. But I've been very much enjoying doing, like, big meal preps and freezing it, like freezing portions. That way you can have, like, different things without too much effort. Exotic dish? Well, you can't leave me just hanging with exotic dish there. Gosh, as long as I wasn't thinking about food, I was fine, but now my stomach is going full force grumbling. I actually had toast before I started too. I picked up I've been trying to avoid eating too much bread because bread is just so good, and anytime I've got bread, I eat way too much bread. But I bought a loaf of sourdough from a local bakery, and like sourdough bread though. Blood or pork blood stew. Yeah, I gotta say, I've never heard of that one. Is it like actually blood? Or how does that work? Eternity Holy Tree, is that the one that's up here? Yeah. So every once in a while there's an event where they give you... Oh hey, welcome to the beans, even though you don't like coffee. Oh yeah, I forgot I have that on too. So the Eternity Holy Tree is an event where you get tickets. I'm pretty sure the tickets are sold by the item mall. And when you, Oh, sorry, I thought you had said earlier that you didn't like coffee. That was, I think, must have been the wrong person. And I'm not squeamish about blood, especially if it's there's a lot of blood-related foods out there, isn't there, in various cultures? Sorry, Eternity Holy Tree. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I thought I remembered wrong, and I was very embarrassed there. Eternity Holy Tree, sorry, I should lock in for a second. You get tickets, and there's prizes in the sky. So you use the tickets to fire a cannon at the sky, and it randomly hits one of your targets and knocks it down. So then that removes that from the pool, and the next shot requires more tickets. So basically it's like... It's another random table for prizes, but every time you get a prize, you remove it from the pool, and it takes more tickets to get the next one. You know, to be honest, I am actually drinking tea right now. Because I didn't have it in me to grind more beans before this live stream started, because it was getting too close, I made a pot of tea. And I specifically have made Irish breakfast tea from a Canadian tea company. Okay, so I have a regular work schedule. I'm on call most of the time. So typically the way I try to do it is I'll put up a poll the night before I know for sure I'm gonna stream. But it's really irregular. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this. I was thinking about trying to do something on, like, Twitter for announcing when I'm gonna go live, but Twitter's just weird. Twitter's awkward and weird. I'll try to do better, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at this, but I have a super irregular work schedule. Like, I don't even know if I'm working tomorrow. Like, I might work tomorrow, I might not. So if I don't work, maybe I'll do a live stream, and if I do, well, then obviously not. tickets for donation? No, the tickets would be sold just in the regular store. I wouldn't call it a donation. This is the official server. So donation isn't really the right word. What the? Oh, jeez. That's a lot of ruby coins. And yes, I do not have an explicit Discord server to myself that like a public Discord server that you can join. I am the moderator for the official one, and it feels really awkward to be like, hey, come to my live stream when I'm a moderator, so I don't do that either. I'm sorry. It's coming to a midday live stream is achieving serendipity, I suppose. Gosh, I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible at this. I will do better. I will find a way to do better. I'm sorry. Midday live stream during night. Well, it's gonna be 12 o'clock noon when I finish for me, so... There's a lot of stuff coming up soon. It's about to be 8 p.m. Well, I'm a East Coast, or sorry, I'm sorry. I am West Coast North America. That was not a slip of the tongue because I'm lying about where I am, but a slip of the tongue because I am currently trying not to sell the wrong thing. Oh gosh, what was I, Okay, so I was talking to someone on the phone for work the other day, and they were canceling something on behalf of someone else. And when I asked their relation, they started saying sister, but then corrected to wife. And in my head, I'm like, that's an odd thing to get wrong. And it made me really nervous. But I swear I'm not doing that. I'm from West Coast Canada, and it's not a secret, because yeah, it's not a secret. I'm from the coast of Canada where nobody else seems to ever be from. Every other creator I've ever come across that was Canadian, it's like Ontario, Eastern, Ontario, Eastern. Yeah, I'm Canadian. And the reason why I say it's not really a secret is because I did once appear in a Linus Tech Tips video, and it's pretty well known that they're based in Western Canada. No. I'm West Coast. The coast that's been getting a frick ton of rain, not the coast that's been getting a frick ton of snow. Yeah, Quebec is, I couldn't survive in Quebec. I don't speak enough French. I know how to say, je ne parle pas français. I don't speak French. And that's about it. Anyway, I still have about 10 minutes here. I mean, actually, I learned the lyrics to that French song from, what do you call it? Genshin Impact as well. And I think I can convincingly pull off a French accent, but for me, when I'm trying to, like, copy what someone is saying for a language, I try to copy the accent properly. But, see, I'm really bad at singing, but if you guys really want to hear it, I suppose I could. You don't even know what my history with singing is, and you already understand the problem. Every time I sing, I lose a subscriber. but I'm willing to do it for the fans if they want to hear it. Not really. I'd get super tongue-tied and it'd probably sound worse than even my best. But yeah, I speak some Japanese. And then most of English. I know a good amount of English. Oh dear. You are for French. Yeah, no, that'll be suffering. My apologies. Well then, I'm glad that my I don't speak French was good enough to not physically hurt, let's say. Because, absolutely we study French in high school in Canada. But I started learning Japanese kind of on my own in the high school. And eventually my French was just completely overwritten by what I learned in Japanese, to the point that, like, while I was doing spoken exams, I would accidentally slip Japanese words in because my brain just could not handle 2 foreign languages at once. Well, it would be helpful in Canada. It would be very helpful in Canada to have French. But no, I went for Japanese. And sorry, Black Alice, I did see your message there. I've been playing this game since the open beta, so that would have been 2014, I think?っていうか、日本語の方が全然使えないよ、カナダでは。Yeah, I did struggle quite a bit with learning it, but am I coming off like a polyglot here? Not really. Like I said, I know how to say I don't speak French, and then I studied Japanese quite seriously for many years. But you know, I heard that there's a lot of people that will just learn how to really convincingly say a couple things in a couple languages and then pretend to be fluent. I'm not gonna trick you like that. I definitely just do not know enough French. Oh man, you got a bug that allowed you to learn English by accident automatically? Man, I could have used that when I was a kid. For French anyway. Honestly? Oh, hello, Captain Gab. I used to stay up all night and playing this game too. I used to get off work at 1 a.m. and then I'd drive home and then I'd play till like 3 a.m. because I was too stressed out after work to just go straight to bed, so I'd play games for a couple hours and not get to bed till like 2 or 3 a.m. Oh man, that was the days. One time when I got home from work, it was, like I said, it was like, I got off work at 1 a.m., I drove home, I'm settling in for a game, and then there was this extremely violent shake. Like, it felt like the world shifted like a meter to the side. And it turned out that it was the only time I have ever felt an earthquake. Was this one time sitting at my computer playing Aura Kingdom after work at like 2 or 3 a.m. or something. It was crazy. Man, and then and I thought, you know what? I didn't realize it was an earthquake until the morning, and I'm like, you know what? I think that's a sign I should go to bed. But I used to play late at night like that every single day. Nowadays I try to go to bed on time. You know, I think most, like, high school mandatory language lessons are really ineffective because, you're not, it's not like an actual motivation to learn. So same as you, the reason why I started learning Japanese was because I wanted to import Tales of games from Japan. When I found out that my favorite series of video games had more games in Japanese, I was like, we're getting in on that. And yeah, by the I think the first one I imported was Tales of Vesperia, which actually was pretty good, despite the fact that my Japanese language skills were pretty bad, because I'd played it so many times in English that I managed to make it through no problem. But the first one I imported and played, like, with no support was Tales of Exilia. That was the first game I ever imported from Japan that I didn't speak any, like, it didn't have any English. Yes, Tales of Symphonia. That was the one that got me. I got Tales of Symphonia and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I love this. And that's when I learned RPGs were a genre, basically. So when my brother ended up getting a PlayStation 3, I bought Tales of the Abyss because we didn't have a PlayStation 2 and obviously I couldn't play it. So I bought Tales of the Abyss once I found out that you could play it on a PlayStation 3. And then it was kind of toast from there because, I mean, for such a long time they didn't bring any more out in English. Like Tales of Legendia, where the English port was like, I don't even know what you call it a port. It was kind of awful. But I have Tales of Legendia's got a bit of a soft spot in my heart, especially because I love the music so much. But like, once I found out there was more in Japanese and they just weren't translated, it was over for me. Right, like I was not on the bleeding edge for Tales of Symphonia either. We were like literally at a store and I was like, man, I keep seeing that box. It's got a pretty art. Got pretty art on the cover. And eventually I got it and it was like, it was over. It was toast. If only my parents knew what happened when they bought me that game. And I got a friend hooked on it as well. But we didn't play together because you had to be in the same room. So we just independently enjoyed it on our own. Oh yeah, absolutely. For Symphonia. Just, it's got that. It had the sauce. Nowadays, I struggle to play it just because I'm so used to the free run versions of the games where you can move around anywhere on the field. I don't think I could play Tales of Symphonia again. I'm so spoiled by the modern gaming comforts. It's definitely got a lot of, it feels like they were trying to go in new directions with it. Oh, Vesperia, I'm sorry, Vesperia was like my jam. Vesperia was such my jam that I played that game so much that I knew enough English, like I knew the translation of every single scene by heart to the point that legitimately playing the Japanese version taught me Japanese words because I knew what was being said. Because I just had memorized every single line in the entire game. Love that game to bits. Games are a really great way to learn languages. Because it's the motivation, right? Like, you're actually motivated to understand what's being said when you're playing a game in a different language, as compared to like when you're in a classroom and like there's no connection to your life. Like, sure, we learned how to sing the pizza song in French. Like, okay, I can sing about being a pizza in French. Very helpful. Whereas when I'm studying Japanese, it's getting me closer to figuring out what direction I'm supposed to head out of this forest, because it's a different dungeon than it was in the English version, because the Japanese version of Vesperia had more stuff. You already told me not to sing in French, so I'm not gonna say it. Oh gosh, it does appear that my Some people have just shown up, but I was just about to finish for the day. Because I have to go do something with that chicken. I'm sorry, guys, but thanks so much for stopping by, and if I don't get called to work, I will try to do a live stream tomorrow. But it'll be a little later start because I have to wait until, I think 8 o'clock my time would be when I'd find out for sure whether or not I'm working tomorrow. So keep an eye out for a later start stream tomorrow if I'm not working. But it is what it is. Thanks so much for stopping by, and rest well, Ming. Thank you so much for joining Atragus, and hopefully we'll see you guys again soon. Bye! Oh, where's the button? Ugh, I need to clean up my screens.